What's good, 2K family? Today we're going to be diving into some very important topics when it comes to NBA 2K, my career, and something that I've been talking about for years, actually since 2018 or maybe even before that. But definitely feel like right now is the time to kind of rehash the conversation. I did this last year where I talked about this when it comes to females playing in the park and things like that and having their chance to go forward. You're going to be seeing me break down what I think could be great, what I absolutely love about the WNBA right now, and what I think could take it to the next level as we go forward. So, when it comes to 2K, we play a lot of MyCareer and it's spectacular. And I want to kind of take a moment to pause this video in the background and show you something that our minds have been brainwashed to. In the regular NBA MyCareer, you're basically starting at 60 and you're trying to get up to 99, right? In the WNBA, as you can see right here, I can choose to go straight into the WNBA, get drafted, but only be a 75 without spending VC. Or I could be at 85 and go undiscovered and work my way into the WNBA. All right. That means no VC cost to get an 85 overall character. All right. This is amazing. And somebody smart mouth will be in the comments saying, yeah, that's because that mode isn't that popular. Nobody want to play and all that nonsense. But the truth is, this should be in 2K as well, because no NBA player that gets drafted is going to be a 60 overall who can't run at top speed or can't do anything. It's embarrassing that 2K does that. And then they try to charge you for VC because it's a miserable progression system. So, in my opinion, having this in the regular men's thing should be a part of the game, in my opinion. On top of that, it just makes it fluid and you can just go in and make your build and not really worry too heavily on the rest. All right. And this is something that I personally love and I think that needs to be highlighted for WNBA. And you know what? I want to start a movement, get people on here for the new game and this game, popularize it, and take it to that next level. We're going to skip ahead to this footage, but they kind of take you through the NBA route where you're getting interviewed, you're getting asked about if you want to do this or that, and it affects your story. So this is where I want to take it into the MyCareer in the NBA 2K world. All right. That game has something similar to this here. And you're going to have the menu where you, after you go through in the regular MyCareer mode, you can select to go to the city, which this game doesn't have that setup, or you can go play an NBA game. And for example, WNBA, it has just a menu for you to go log in and try to play a match, where I would just go in here and then get into the game. Okay. These are the cool things that is happening in this game. But the reason I wanted to come here and just showcase to you guys, for example, my attributes already got leveled up. My badges are at where they're at right now. But the main thing is, another part I want to talk about is animations. You actually have animations you can't get in the regular MyCareer, and I'm actually not using them. For example, jumpers, maybe some dribbles, things that you actually will be surprised about. It's like, oh wow, they have not just regular NBA players, but other players in the WNBA. And so this is cool. I put on a lot of dribbles that I like, and then a couple of random ones, kind of experimenting a little bit. As you can see here, you know, the traditional hesitation from Tyrese Halliburton. And to me, this is amazing. And the idea that I had, because if you look at their stats, they're not going to be anything close to NBA players, which understandably is more realistic because this is what they do. But you can see here, I have a decent stat line and I can go compete with the males. But what I was thinking was, when we go into MyCareer and we go through this process, if we're playing in the park, if we're playing in the city and all the other areas that are non-WNBA related, just street ball, the rec, and all that stuff, women can be in there. Okay, I understand that they want the NBA separate from the WNBA as far as the career games, but I believe that having this fused with every other mode allows to have a good time. Now you're gonna say, oh, I wouldn't want to play with that build, it got low stats. Well, guess what? When you play in those modes, these stats go up and you get to select, hey, I want a 90 dunk, and you end up becoming a dunker in this game. This is something I personally want, I think would be great. If you guys ever watched me play NBA Live back in the day, 2000, was it 18? NBA Live 19, it came out in 2018. That game had female characters, and you can basically create a female and do everything except the career games. So you play in different tournaments that they had in that mode, that you can play online, and it was the same template. So you're watching a character right here, which is a male character, and imagine these stats but with a female. And why you say, why would you want to do that? Well, there's a lot of representation, sure, but also, man, you got to lift up the WNBA, and there's some favorite players. You know, Angel Reese has been spectacular, and our Clarkson as well has been phenomenal even through the injuries. Hopefully everything works out. You know, the two rookies who kind of are tied together. I don't want to get into the beef, but that whole thing, man, it sparked a new generation of people interested in WNBA. And I think if we had these kind of features where I could just make a female, you know, and I make an Angel Reese type of character, and I'm just dunking on somebody like I used to do in NBA Live 2019. I mean, NBA Live 19, I would have fun. I actually made a Kawhi Leonard style build in NBA Live female character, and she was just a defensive monster, blocking, stealing, just like really incredible, little dunking, a little shooting, like a well-rounded 3-and-D type of skilled player. And I had a lot of fun with that character. It was one of my favorite characters, and actually was the best template in the game. So those are the kind of things that we can do and popularize these female characters to a certain extent by evolving it in that way. I think it's necessary. I think it'll be good for the game and the overall experience as we go forward, you know. So that's just me, but I know that everybody got their opinion. Feel free to drop it. I want to kind of showcase a couple of different things before we continue. So the first thing I want to kind of showcase here is they have a fleshed out system, right? You got game day, you got the online. It's a smaller, compact version, right? Imagine if 2K did all that, right? Like, look, I got my badges. I can go into these features, do some practice runs. It has a lot of the fundamentals. It's just missing the career. So you load up into 2K MyCareer with your female character, and you're able to play pretty much all of the modes in this city. All right, so now you're going to be walking around the city, playing in the theater. I mean, WNBA players can play anywhere they want, right? It's not like none of this stuff is strictly for the NBA. And I think it would be a good thing for the game, just kind of adding extra dribbles and play styles, as well as visually different characters. I think that'll be fun. And somebody will say, oh, it's not the NBA, you shouldn't do it. The girls don't dunk too much. And I'm like, sure, but this is a video game. And we're not here asking for 2K to make a fake, you know, jump from the half court and dunk it. It's not NBA jams, but it would be very interesting. And so I wanted to kind of add another part of this that was actually from a viewer that you guys might find interesting and engaging. So right here in my comments, shout out to my mans in them. He basically said that how he liked my idea, and he said, how about twin storylines where a boy and a girl twin, and they're trying to make it to the NBA and the WNBA, and they're struggling, you know, playing in these city tournaments and things like that, and having that type of experience. So I told him I definitely will feature this and discuss it a little bit in my video here. So we're going to do that. And the idea is amazing, right? I've already talked about that kind of idea where you can play and experience both sides of the story if you wanted to. But he's talking more like a brother and sister actual storyline. And I think that'd be cool, right? We see these kind of combinations of like two people coming up in previous 2K games. They weren't family, they were like enemies or whatever, but imagine if it's family. That's also fun too. You know, Reggie Miller's sister was an amazing female player, and I think that would be great, not to replicate them, but to have something in that vein that could be fun. And you can go and play both characters if you really wanted to. Come back and play the female version and go through that experience. So that's something personally I think it would be phenomenal if 2K did it. Again, I don't know if that's the answer to making WNBA relevant, but I'm guaranteeing one thing. I'm guaranteeing that I personally am now invested in 2K WNBA this year. I'm announcing it now. And you know, there's always a lot of creators that just suck all my ideas and act like it's theirs, and that's fine, man. Copycats. I'm not mad at y'all, but I'm definitely gonna go into this mode, and I want to definitely bring the community with me and just have fun in there, and I hopefully can make it poppin', have some good basketball, and enjoy the journey, you know. So we doing it. Shout out to the WNBA and anybody that's interested in this conversation. Female characters having their own career within the MyCareer so they can have other features and experiences as well. I think it's deserved. So let me know what your thoughts are in the comments. Hope that you enjoyed this. We're gonna keep on keeping on, baby. Got a lot of dope videos, ideas, sharing some cool concepts of what I think could be. If you want a story, a full story, like I'll write a script and everything just to kind of create my own version of what that could be for the female and the male characters, both trying to get through into the draft and get selected for each of their associations. All right, see y'all on the next one. Subscribe if you want more. Love y'all. Peace. Stay blessed. Peace.